Today we are going to talk about the uh, database interview questions with the easiest one, and then which is the second highest salary. Okay, continue with that. In the first lesson, we are dealing with the joining the tables, and then the second one is we need to pick up some kind of second, third, or fourth, fifth, fifth, or whatever. What is the question here? The question is here the second highest salary, which means that from the employee table, we get some salaries with the IDs, as you see. And then the salaries can be more 100 multiplied by 3 or something like that. We need some kind of duplicate records, or there is no restriction for the uniqueness or something like that. So the, the main question here is, given the above employee table, the query should return 200, which means that this is the second highest salary. Okay, here the problem is we need to pick up, first of all, we need to order all these salaries with the unique information, and then we need to pick not the first one, we need to pick the second one, second highest salary. How can I do that? Also in the question you see that there is some kind of a query should return null if there is no highest salary or there is no record. We have we have to return the null value. Also, there is some kind of challenge problem for null value because if you don't know the specific functions in the MySQL or MS SQL or in the Oracle, you can return the null value some because the records can be all the empty. So the other thing is the result is going to be second highest salary title. Okay, go ahead. So first of all, what we are going to do is we need to pick the salary at first, right? From where? From employee table. Okay, what I'm going to do now, we have to give some kind of order statement here, right? And how can we use this? This order by, and then with respect to what, which column here is going to be the salary column. Okay, in the order by definition, you can see that the default value for the order by is ascending order, which is ASC. Okay, and then what is ASC means here is ascending order, but our main aim is to give this order in the descending order, right? Because first 300, then 200, then 100. So I think the first one is okay. But the problem is here, how can we pick the second highest salary? Okay, for different kind of approaches and a different kind of methodologies we can use here. The first approach is going to be the default. We are using MySQL for now, and we have two different kind of uh, codes. The first one is limit, and the other one is offset. Okay, what does limit mean? Limit means that, for example, if you're going to show the records for 100, we have to limit by 100. Okay, if you want to limit this two, we are going to limit two. If you're going to limit one, which means that the first data, then you have to first pick up the first data. Okay, we need only one data here, right? So it's cool. The offset means that the number of records that you want to skip. Okay, for example, if the offset one means that you ignore here the 300 and then go through 200, 100, what else. So what our aim is here for MySQL statements, we have to pick up the first item, first row, but we have to skip the first item as well. So we have to skip the 300, which means that offset 1, we skip this one, and then pick from the remaining rows the first one, which is limit 1. Okay, then we are cool. What else? The second option, as you see from here, is you have to get the second highest salary as a title, new title, right? So we are going to change this as like that. Here, select the result. Okay, because we can use at first like that here. Okay, we can also use as second highest salary. Okay, but it fails because we need to also check the null values here, right? So if there is some kind of null value, we don't get any information and it's going to empty records. But here we need to check as a query as a null value. For example, okay, what I mean is for example, there's only one item here, for example, 10, okay, and then if you run this query with here, there is no record. Also, there is no null value as well, so it fails in the test cases. So we have to change this one, okay, like that. Select here and then here. Okay. Good. What's coming from the inner query gives as a second salary, and then run code here. Okay, run code here. There's run code is good here is okay. There's two s here. Okay, and then we check this one s. Okay, run code here. Good, and then submit here. Then accept, but not accepted. What is here problem? Hmm. Okay, here we don't check the distinct values, right? And then we have to check distinct values as well. And then run code again. Yeah. Okay, we are cool. And then submit it. Yep, accepted. Okay, this is the first query. Okay, but it will not work in the MS SQL server, right? Because there is no limit there is no offset there, and then there is no this kind of usage in the MS SQL. So what are we going to do in the MS SQL? In MS SQL, we have a new function named as rank, and we have to use this query with the similar one, like this one at first. We copy from here, okay? Then we need to use salary and the rank here, okay? The first of all, the select this thing salary, okay, from not employee. We are using select salary, distinct salary here, salary here from, and then we need to use here as rank function, and then over. Over means that we have to use some kind of ordering or definition here, and then our definition is order by salary descending order as rank or ranks from employee. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, we can get here the first of all this one and then this here and then close the parentheses. Okay, what do we get at the end of this the inner query? When we get the inner query, we get the salaries, distinct salaries, and the rank information, which means that 301, 202, 103, or something like that. After that, we have to get the select distinct salary from this information, right? And then we also have to use here where statement, okay, and then ranks is equal to 2. Okay, is it enough? Actually, it's not enough because we don't check the from the description. We don't check the null values here as well, and then, so we have to check the null values, and then also we have to check the second highest salary information, right? So how can we check this one? In the MS SQL, we have to check is a is null function. Okay, is null or empty. Okay, is null or empty. If it is null, we have to push null. Okay, if it is not null, and what I'm going to get here as well. Okay, in the MySQL, we are using if null statement. In the MS SQL, is null statement. Let me explain a little bit more. In the MySQL, okay, we are using if null statement. In the MS SQL, we are using is null statement. In the Oracle, we are using NVL function. Okay, so these are all checks that if the data is null or not. Okay, so we have three different kinds of databases, three different kinds of functions. So at first, we're using the is null function in the MS SQL server, and we are going to use the same function with if null in the MS SQL. Also, we are going to use the same function in the Oracle with the NVL function. Okay, let's try at first this one. Okay, that I think pretty simple. And we just check the rank is 2, and if there's no existing in the data, and we get the null value as the second highest seller. And run Leetcode. What is this one? Okay, let me check here. Select is null. Okay, here is okay. Select distinct salary from select salary. Okay, here is salary. Okay, then select distinct salary order by ascending order from employee where ranks is equal to and null. I think this is fine. Just go ahead. Connect. Let's go. Equation here is null. What is statement here? Is also here. Okay. Over order by salary descending, and then where ranks is equal to. Okay, there's a problem here. Where ranks is here is okay. Yeah, we didn't put the parentheses here. Okay, where the parentheses here, and then is null is equal to the result of the function method here. Okay, then this is the result of the inner query, and if is null and null value, and then just go ahead. Okay, cool. Then we run it and then submit it. Let's see. And waiting that. Okay, cool. That's also fine. So is null function. We are using check that is null or not, and then you have to use the is null function. How can we use in the MySQL? Okay, if we are going to use the is null function, how can we do that? Okay, from here, we go ahead and select if null. Okay, select if null, select distinct salary from employees. Okay, and order by salary descending order, and then limit 1, offset 1, and then okay, we if null is open here. Okay, this is the first statement, right? But for the first statement, we have to go into parentheses. You don't know the result, right? And the second statement is going to be null, and then close the parentheses, right? And then we don't need, after this statement, we have to drop this, and then we see that in the second range. Cool. Just go ahead and then submit it. Then accept it. Okay, you see that this is the third query. How can we do that in the Oracle part, right? Okay, in the Oracle part, we can use actually the first approach. Okay, first of all, we have to copy these things, and then Okay. Okay, this is the second one. What was the first one? First one is actually pretty same. What are we going to do here? Select distinct salary from employees ordered by offset one. Is no, we don't use that. Okay, this is the first solution. This is the second solution. Okay, for the MySQL part, this is the first solution. Okay, and then in Oracle, we have another solution. Okay, in Oracle, we have to use some kind of MVL function or something like that, right? So how can we do that? Okay, and for example, first of all, we have to write the another methodology here. Okay, third one. First of all, we get this salaries here. Okay, how can we get the maximum salary here? By using the maximum function, right? So we have to get the maximum salary at first, then drop to for maximum salary from the first one. Okay, okay. When we get to the maximum salary, okay, and then uh, from employees, okay, then order by, not order by, we don't need order by actually here. So where statement here, this is the important first one, where the salary is less than, okay, same query actually, okay, from employee. Okay, just check the parentheses here. Okay, the other thing is here we have to go put the description, second salary history. Okay, this is another solution, which means that, okay, so first of all, in our query, check the maximum salary from the employee table, right? And then we have to find the smaller one, which is the maximum salary after this salary, which is the second maximum salary, right? And then this should work for all environment. At first, and we have to run this in the MySQL. Just check it, cool, and then submit it. The problem is here we have to run 2 times, and then the second one there is some kind of a full table scan. So if you don't have any memory problem or something like that, you can use this query. Okay, the other one is in MS SQL. Can we use this same query? Just check it and then run it. Okay. Yep, it also works. And you see that it also works here. It also works here. And in Oracle, it works. Let's check it again. Cool, and submit it. And we are waiting here. Yep, it works. Cool. So this is the all these this query is working for all environment, right? But the problem is here. We have to show the if null or is null function. How can we use that? Okay, here the salary, maximum salary, right? If it is null or not, how can we check it? You can check by using like that. NVL maximum salary, if it is null or not, or the value is null, okay, you have to push a null value or maximum salary. Okay, this is also works, which means that which is going to do the same by using in the MySQL if null or is null function. Okay, so this is in Oracle version. What else we can use? Okay, we can also use the same function here, and then we can check with the case methodology, which means that there's some kind of case, when, something, and then, or else, and then and. It is very convenient usage of the case when. This is a methodology here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is the first of all we have to get um, the information, which information we are going to check it. Okay, so we can check. We have to click here at first, then continue our select cases. Okay, select usage is case, and then what we use this one when case when. What we are going to check is maximum salary, right? Okay, when we are going to check the maximum salary is not null. If it is not null, then what? We are using the same information. But if null, which means an else, then we are going to use null and then and the function. What is going to be here is going to be as an else from here. Okay, let's check the function from employee where salary is smaller than the maximum salary from employee. Okay, cool. It seems good. Which means that when the maximum salary is not null, then we use the maximum salary as a second highest salary. If it is null, which is else, then use null as a second salary. Just run this code. Okay, cool. And then submit it. That works. Okay, this is another usage of uh, is null function usage, and then also the case one methodology. What else? What else we are going to use? Okay, just check the MySQL here at first, select using, and then maximum using, limit using, and then if null using, max using. Cool. NoSQL is music. Okay, I think we are good, and we solved for the different versions of with the limit and offset usage, and then with if null check, and then the other inner query usage for the MySQL. In the MySQL, we are using is null check and also the max salary information. In the Oracle, we're also using the NVL check and the case run check. And also we are using before the same methodology, which is, we also write this here. It also works in the Oracle. Okay, so I try to show you here different kind of approaches and different kind of methodologies and different kind of functions, inner functions, which means that functions coming from the environment of the databases. And then you can use one-way approach, any approach, you can use it, but just check at first the description and what do you need, what are the restrictions, what do you expected, and what kind of data that you have. And then you are going to run and execute the data or execute your query with respect to your needs. Okay, that's all for today, and then see you for the next video. Thank you.